Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Caesar. Welcome. First of all, welcome. My name is Caesar. I am a barber. I'm also a supplier with Supreme Barber Supply. I do a lot of videos that helps out a lot of beginner barbers, intermediate, pretty much whatever level you're at, you're going to gain some knowledge. Hopefully, you know, that's the intentions of this channel. If that is something that interests you, then I would subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for even more future content. You guys can also find me and Supreme Barber Supply on social media. You guys can also check out the website, which is supremebarbersupply.com. And don't forget to use my discount code to save some money, guys. So let's talk about these trimmers. So we got the FX3s right here by Babyliss. Lopros. Now these are custom. They usually come in on all blacked out, top and bottom. And then we got your Babyliss FX trimmer right here as well. When it comes to picking out a trimmer, I know it's tough, but hopefully I can make it easier for you guys. So all three of these are very similar trimmers, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like the huge thing with them would be the build, what build you're looking for. So when it comes to build, what I mean is the shape of the body, how heavy and how light it is. So when it comes to the Lopro trimmer, guys, it is a plastic bottom, which is this back part right here, which it has grooves, which is really nice. It has a metal plate on top with an indent, which makes a huge difference when it comes to it just fitting like a glove on your hand. All three trimmers have a 360 view, which pretty much means it's skeletonized. So when it comes to edging up, you get to see more of the hair or the head on your client and less of the trimmer. The FX3s have an all plastic housing. In short, means it's going to be a lot lighter. If you guys have used the Slimlines by Andis, it is very similar to it. What I like to call these is the Andis Slimline Pros on steroids. And now the one that we all pretty much know is the regular skeletons. These are all metalled out. All the housing is metal. It has a barbell grip, while the others don't have really much of a grip. When it comes to weight, guys, these are the lightest ones out of the three. These are very similar in weight. Since they do have a lot more metal on them, they're going to be a little bit heavier, but it's not really much weight to the point where it's going to be dreadful on your hand after a long day of working on clients. So you don't got to really worry about weight with these three trimmers. Now let's talk about each blade, guys. So when it comes to the FX3 trimmer, you'll notice that mine does not have a logo on it or anything. That's how they first came out. It was I believe it was an error or a mistake on the warehouses when they got these blades done. But when you buy a replacement blade for it, it will have the FX3 logo on it. Some of the things people have said about this blade is that it's too sharp and it's really hard to adjust. And it is hard to adjust. You got to find a really good sweet spot for it. This one right here specifically, I wouldn't really recommend on older gentlemen and kids because it can easily irritate their skin due to how close the blade is and how thin it is. The only problems I heard about the FX3, ladies and gentlemen, is when it comes straight out the box, it's a little bit overlapped or a little bit too flush when it comes to it being zero gap. So that means that it's going to irritate skin. It's going to cut people possibly. So what I recommend if you do end up choosing this trimmer right here is to zero gap it less. And what that means is pretty much the moving blade, which is the bottom blade right here, you just move it down slightly and test it out on your forearm before you test it out on clients. This one is the trickiest out of the three trimmers. When it comes to zero gapping, this one's super tough. I know a lot of people have had issues with it. It is also the only one with the LED display when it comes to the battery wise, as you guys can see. Runtime on this trimmer, guys, is 3 hours. That is 1 more hour more than the other trimmers. The RPMs is very similar to all three trimmers, so we're not really going to go there. The Lopros coming in heavy this year. They just released a couple of months ago, and I know a lot of you guys are still iffy on getting either or, but the Lopros have been pretty good. They feel really good in the hand. They fit like a glove. They come with the DLC 2.0 blade. You guys can see right there, DLC 2.0 blade. Not sure how a lot of you guys feel about those blades, but to me, it's not too bad at all. I feel like it's very similar to a fine tooth graphite blade by Babyliss, which pretty much means to me that it's going to be very good for edging and very good for bulking without snagging. So it's a pretty good overall trimmer blade. It has a metal lid on top, guys. The bottom housing is plastic. This is metal up here, which gives it more of a premium feel as opposed to the FX3, which is all plastic. And now let's talk about these guys, the OGs. This is what pretty much everyone has seen or used in the past, and this is a really good trimmer, guys. All three of them are good. You just gotta find a purpose for them. Like this is an all metal housing. It has the barbell grip right here. So if you guys don't know what a barbell grip is when you go do pull-ups or something like that, the gym, let's say, you know, the metal bar, it has little grooves, like crisscross grooves for a better grip. That's exactly what this feels like. So here's the price points, guys, on the trimmers. The FX3 comes in at a whopping price of $160 on the BabylissPro website. The Lopro trimmers come in at a price point of $165, and the skeletons on their website, they come in at $185. So when it comes to prices, guys, I know there's somewhat of a little gap in between them. So it just depends on what you guys are looking for in the end, you know. I feel like one of the things you have to look into when you're picking out a trimmer is not just the performance, but I think it's very important you guys choose how it feels in your hand, because if you don't choose something that's comfortable, you're going to be very uncomfortable all day holding the trimmers. You have to pick something that's really nice on your hand, fits perfect, and you wouldn't mind holding all day, you know, because that's going to be potentially your next workhorse, especially with all that money being spent, you know. That's something to keep in mind. That's what I tell all my customers, is make sure it feels good in your hand. That's the most important thing. Secondly, what is the purpose of the trimmer? Like, what do you want the blade to do? If you're looking for something that's just going to be edging up and you don't care about anything else, then I'd probably go with the FX3s. The FX3s, those are hitting, smacking. They're a little bit cheaper than the skeletons, like 20 bucks off compared. They last a lot more on the battery, an hour more. So if that's something that suits you, just, you know, I just want to do sharp lines all day. FX3 it is. If you want something more premium and you don't care about the money, I'd go with the skeletons, the FX metal ones, and simply for the fact because it is an all metal housing. You can swap out pretty much any blade that you want on it. The 2.0 blades, the graphite fine tooths, the ultra thin. If you want something more comfortable in your hand, I'd go with the Lopros. Fit, like I said, they fit like a glove. They fit really well. They're a little bit smaller, and if you're like me who cares about how they feel in the hand, I'd go with Lopros because of the comfort. If you want a better blade on them, like you wanted the skeletons for, I'd slap the 707Z blade, which is the ultra thin blade, and that one sharp lines all day, you know. So, you know, that's pretty much a little bit of a comparison between all of these guys. I hope this explained to you guys a little bit of each trimmer and what they're kind of for. Other notable mentions, guys, is that the FX3 is probably the only one out of the other trimmers that are not going to have a charging stand, from what I know. That has not been announced by Babyliss. The skeletons are going to get a charging stand, which is already out. The Lopros, I believe that it should fit the same one, or they're working on a current one. But the FX3, I have not heard a single word if there was going to be a charging dock for them. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. So pretty much, guys, to wrap up this video, I'm going to let you guys know what I'm going to choose and why. And I'm gonna have to go with the Lopros because it's cheaper than the skeletons. It's right at the same price point as the FX3s, but I can do a lot more with the Lopros, you know. I got the comfort in my hand. I like that comfort better than the skeletons. Although I love the FX3 build because it reminds you of, you know, the old Reliables, which were the slim lines. But with the FX3s, you limit yourself because you're only going to get to use that one certain blade unless, you know, Babyliss were to come out with different blades. But we're talking about now, we're not talking about the future. So I'm going to have to go with the Lopros. Like I said, I like the build. I like how you can put different blades on it. And pretty much the build is everything, guys. Especially for me. It feels comfortable, so now I could just switch out the blade if I really wanted to do it, you know, try something different. So I'd get the Lopros. I'd probably put the ultra thin blade on it, and that's gonna be my edge or upper, you know. Although I could use it for everything else, I'm probably just gonna use it for edging up because I have other trimmers that I like to bulk out with that ain't too harsh. So that's pretty much what I'm going with. Let me know what you guys are gonna choose and why. And, you know, If you have one of these trimmers, let me know what you like about them and what you dislike about them. If you're thinking about getting one of these trimmers, what is stopping you from getting one of these trimmers? Let me know in the comment section. Hopefully, you know, I can reply back to you guys and help ease your transaction a little bit with the little discount code. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys found this video useful. I really enjoyed doing it for you guys. Hopefully, if you were on the verge of buying one or the other, this video pretty much nailed it and helped you guys make a firm decision. That's it for me, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe for the next video. Make sure to like this video if this helped you out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.